Watch as an arrogant leftist college student gets absolutely heated with Charlie Kirk. She does not like what he has to say, constantly tries to suggest and imply he's a racist of some kind, and basically comes out as open borders. Guys, you're gonna like this video. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We always like to see Charlie Kirk lay out a good ownage, so we're gonna get right into it. But first, everybody, please help me out here. Do us a big favor and like our video, share it around, and if you're new, subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian, and let's get into the video.
All right.
Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm gonna start off by saying I'm a political science student. I'm a second year here at K-State. And I'm a first generation student.
Try to turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, perfect. Great, thank you. And what's your name again?
Alondra.
Nice to
Alvarez.
meet you.
Yeah. So I just had a question, because you talk a lot about like protecting and securing our southern borders. But as the granddaughter of immigrants, I think that we get into a lot of complicated disputes with the idea that immigrants are criminals or drug dealers and things like that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is on those expectations or those, what do you call it, those stereotypes that are put on Hispanic communities, Latino communities, and how they change the way people perceive immigration.
Sure. So, thank you for the question. So you said you're the first generation
Yes,
student
I am.
or first generation American?
I'm a first generation student.
Cool, great. Second generation American? Did I hear that right? Or-
Third generation
Cool.
American on my mom's side.
Great.
Second on my dad's.
When your grandparents then, is that right, came
Yes.
to this country, did they do so through the legal process that was in front of them?
So my father got married to my mother, so he's a legal resident of the United States. She's been here her entire life.
But did she enter legally?
She did. She's
Okay.
she's born here. Yeah.
Got it.
My grandpa on my dad's side entered in illegally.
Okay, so I'm not here to like insult your grandpa, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, but we must be very clear that the type of immigration that we support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and that you do not break into a country uninvited and you try to cut.
Can I add something to that? The reason why he left, and a lot of people in Mexico do, is because of the political state, especially in the 70s and 80s, when they decided to move. They have a government that isn't supportive of their constituents, and because of drug problems, their only choice was to move.
Yeah, I totally sympathize. That's not true. It's never the only choice to commit a crime, and we should not put up with it. And so it is an insult to other immigrants from Vietnam and Laos and Pakistan that have to wait decades in line to morally equivalate people that come in and just break in. Oh, I have an unstable country. Like half of the world's countries are unstable.
Yeah, but that's why we have the...
And the United States is getting more and more unstable, especially with this crumbling economy, thanks to Joseph Robinette Biden. We love Joe Biden. Kidding. No, we definitely don't. This economy is awful, guys, and that is why I have decided to invest in gold, and I think you should too. All right, so check it out. Goldco is a great company, highly rated in their customer service, and we are very happy to partner with them. Go to rtmgold.com. You can click the link in our description or type in your web browser. Guys, there are a lot of perks here, okay? Just remember, as the value of the dollar has historically declined, the value of the gold has gone up. So I think that speaks for itself personally, and there's a lot of help along the way here. You can get a free gold kit from Goldco. Yes, you heard that right, free. We understand it's a big decision to make. We want you to be as well informed and well equipped as possible. And you can roll over your IRA and 401k penalty and tax free as well. So check it out, guys. Go to rtmgold.com. You can click the link in the description or type in your web browser. Once again, that's rtmgold.com.
The Asylum Seekers Program.
Which is heavily abused, and we're talking two different things. Asylum seekers and walking into the country illegally are similar but different things. Right? And so we have millions of gotaways of people that we have no idea who they are. They're not.
I like how she says yes and no. I actually kind of agree with her because it really is the same thing. We've seen so many cases where illegal immigrants come in and then they get caught or they stop at the border or whatever before crossing through and just say, asylum, let me in. And the only way the US government determines asylum in its current state is somebody says they're seeking asylum and they say, okay, you're an asylum seeker now. Because, you know, there's obviously no incentive whatsoever for an illegal immigrant to say that they're being persecuted to come in. None, surely. They're all just really honest, good Samaritans, right?
Declaring asylum, they just run across the border.
Well, because they can't. The system doesn't allow other people to, from Mexico specifically, to assign themselves.
Who they are the last couple of years. So look, we just have to be very clear with this, is that if you come into the country uninvited, you have committed a crime and you are a criminal. And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws, or we can say that when you are a criminal, you should then be punished for that crime, aka sent back to your country of origin, because you were not invited. And it is an insult, again, to the Poles and to the Czechoslovakians and from the Senegalese and people all across the world that don't have the proximity or the luxury just to waltz into America.
You call it a luxury to leave a country that has political tyranny and come into a country with opportunity?
Yes, to live in Mexico, to be able to go 100 miles north and break into America. Do you know how many people in Pakistan would kill to be on that border?
That's why we bring them in.
Well, we shouldn't, right? That's the point. And secondly, do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America?
I think that I didn't have a choice. My grandparents made that decision for me.
And I'm not trying to attack your grandparents, but no one has a right to go to anybody else's country. You are invited. It is a privilege, not a right, to come into America.
So it's a privilege to live a life that requires you to have clean water, clean food, clean air.
Yes, of course it is.
And you have to fight for that?
Yes, it is not.
But we didn't?
Hold on a sec. Well,
born here, we didn't fight for that?
Well, my ancestors did fight for that, actually, and I'm a very thankful recipient of many generations of Americans that fought for the greatest nation ever to exist.
By doing what? Coming here?
Well,
illegally?
Wait, what did my ancestors do? They
came here illegally.
They came over here in 1620, fought in the Revolutionary War, fought in the Civil War, fought in World War I.
So because my grandpa didn't come here in
II.
1620, it gives him no right to have a good life?
He can fill up.
No. Yeah, there is no right to a good life. And I find it very annoying when people bring up points like this. When you declare that you have a right for something, that implies that it's legally okay to go and essentially threaten someone by point of gun in order to enforce that right. Very simple example. If you say you have a right to food, well, you're saying that somebody can take a gun and point it to somebody's head and say, give me this food, or you're going to go to jail or worse. Make no mistake, that is the case, whether you believe it or not. There's really no arguing against that. And to that, I have a very simple question. What makes you, the person asking this, or, a theoretical immigrant, illegal or not, coming to this country, entitled to have that kind of service provided them by the greatest nation to ever exist? What gives them that right? The answer's certainly not God, that's for sure. So I'm waiting to hear it.
Paperwork and wait in line, like the rest of the world. And then we can see whether or not it's in our best interest to allow him to come in. And so we have to weigh costs and benefits. I'm not saying we should have no immigrants, but immigration must be a net benefit for the American homeland and for the American citizen. We have brought in 10 million people in these last couple of years. We have now brought in 5% of the population of Haiti. Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, taking in 5% of the population of Haiti?
Not necessarily, no. If we have the land and the resources to house them, it shouldn't be that big deal to bring in immigrants.
Really? Do you think that the American government should first have an obligation to citizens before foreigners?
Okay, I think we have an
answer
obligation.
the question. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we're obligated because we're citizens to have the rights that we have, but that doesn't mean we can't open up our borders when we have the process to do so.
You, being a younger American, and everyone in the audience, is the first generation in American history to have it be worse off than your parents. So and you agree with that, social contract, poorer, more expensive. Yeah. So wouldn't it be rational for the American government to say, we're going to prioritize younger generation Americans that are American passport holders and citizens before those in another nation?
I don't want to say anything that offends people.
Obviously, she disagrees with that, which is why she doesn't want to offend anybody. But to what Charlie is saying, amen. And I wish this mentality of taking care of the American people first, especially our young, because they're our future, was more common than it is now. So many people just don't care about the fact that the young generation is, for the first time, and as far as I remember, worse off than their parents in American history. And they should care, and shame on them for not caring. I've heard so many people say, I'm not even kidding, casually in conversations that, well, we need more immigrants into the United States and the West more broadly because the native-born people aren't having kids anyways. So screw them, essentially. Just replace them with a bunch of third world migrants. That's basically what they're saying. And I can't help but ask a simple question. How about instead of treating people of their own nation like they're numbers on a spreadsheet, we see why they're struggling? If people are having less kids, that clearly indicates some level of deep unhappiness, whether we're willing to admit that or not. That's just the truth of it. Let's figure out why those people are suffering. I think there are a multitude of factors, but one that's very easy and obvious to point to is our economy. It sucks. A lot of people won't even have kids or get married because they think, well, I can't afford it anyways. I'm just going to keep, wage slaving, watching Netflix, smoking, getting DoorDash, whatever, spending money on things like that that'll truly never bring them happiness or fulfillment. Really a sad thing. All that to say, let's fix those issues. Let's prioritize those people instead of replace them like they're just irrelevant and easily replaceable, like they're inanimate objects. Really a sick mentality, and we need to get that out of here. Seriously.
But
I've
go
ahead.
Already said it, right? I've already said it. Whatever. I think that the way we're going about it is wrong. And that if we don't have a clear path to citizenship, we won't open up those opportunities for people to come and seek a good life. But I also think that, we are required to have those rights ourselves.
Seeking a
as
good
American
life
citizens.
is fine. It's a nice added benefit. Our government does not exist to improve the life of foreign citizens.
But we should be open to the idea of accepting that.
Of course we are, if we have our own house in order. We are in chaos right now. We have the most depressed, suicidal, anxious generation in history. Our birth rate is collapsing. Kids can't afford homes.
Yeah.
You guys are drowning in debt. You have to compete for jobs against foreigners. Our country is a mess right now. And so when your country's a mess and your home is in disarray and bedlam, your own government should say, time out. I have a heart for the people of Haiti. I have a heart for the people of every country. But you're not coming here until this generation at least has it as good as their parents.
But it's the stereotype that I'm given as a Mexican American to fulfill those standards that people have on immigration as well.
I don't share that. I haven't said that here today. There's people from all over the world that enter the southern border now. There's 118 countries that come across the southern border. But I don't care if you enter illegally from Bulgaria or from Laos or from Mexico or from Nicaragua. Someone who does not have their paperwork when they come in is by definition breaking federal law.
Yeah,
and so then what should we do with someone who breaks with federal law?
But does that mean that people, including their children, their grandchildren, including myself, have to live with the stereotype or the standard set upon me that I am a criminal, I am a drug dealer, I am a XYZ?
Okay,
It's just ridiculous. She's just airing her sour grapes at this point. Charlie did nothing to suggest she was racist, obviously, but she's trying to bring that whole discussion up because she's been trained by the left to do this kind of thing. It's always this constant victimization, complaining, and labeling the opponent as evil, even when they're clearly coming from a good place. And labeling their opponent as evil, even when they're coming from an obviously good place. It's just dumb.
So I played into that stereotype.
I've heard it many, many times, not from you specifically today.
Okay, but then it's a little bit of a red herring, right? Because we're not even talking about it. I'm not...
Well, my original question was, what do you think about it?
What do I think about stereotypes?
About the stereotype given to immigrants right now and children of immigrants and people of color here.
Well, I can't talk about something I don't believe in. So, I mean, I don't want people to be stereotyped. No different than when you look at a young white man on campus, you think he's a rapist, right? Which is...
No, I don't.
Well, that's good. No, but that is a stereotype that is pushed sometimes. Like, oh, if you see a young man on campus, it's campus rape culture. Stereotyping is wrong. It should not occur. But we also must understand that the way that we constitute our immigration policy right now in this country is not in the benefit of the American citizen, and we're acting much more like a colony than a country. And where a country is where you have ties that bind you together, you have a shared history, hopefully a shared language, you have a shared culture, where a colony is you come from anywhere across the world, and so be it.
Yeah, but isn't that like the point of America? Diversity and inclusion and belonging.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Where is that in the Constitution or the Declaration that diversity and inclusion, these are false ideals that are taught in school? They're, I guess, nice, but is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I think so.
Where does it say that?
I think that everyone has the right to live out their own individuality, their own lives, and their own way.
I know, but you say the American ideal. Where do you get that from? Yeah, pursuit of happiness for Americans. You're right, because that's what the Declaration
I'm an
was
American.
written for. No, if that's fine.
Does that mean I'm not valid here for having a diverse background?
No, of course you are, but I'm saying...
Again, she's just trying to race bait, act like she's a victim, paint the white man as the big, meanie, bad racist. What does that have to do with the conversation? Nothing.
So
can I not express that?
Don't change the topic. You said we should be able to open up the country for people from all across the world.
Yeah.
Why do we believe that is a core belief?
Because we want to help people. That's the point. We came here a long time ago. We established a country a long time ago, and we want to have other people come in, I think, to live in the luxury that we live in now.
Last question.
I knew
Are you okay with deporting every illegal person that's here?
No.
Why?
Because there's some people here that are not represented well by the media. There's a lot of illegal immigrants here that are working their butts off for the life that they want.
I don't care if they're working hard. But the point is, what should the punishment be for breaking into a country?
Depends on the crime you commit after you break into it.
Okay, that's it. I'm talking about just the crime is breaking in. What should the punishment be? I break into somebody's home. What should their punishment be?
For open borders.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, so if you behave after you get here, that's fine. So to play that out, if someone comes into your dorm room uninvited and they do the dishes and laundry, they can stay?
If I'm not going to do my own dishes, heck yeah. They're doing my dishes for me? Cool. If they don't kill me, I'm not dead. It is what it is, man.
Well, they are killing a lot of Americans, but...
You say they. Like, they are?
Yes,
like,
they.
All illegal immigrants kill people? That's crazy.
Many illegals do. Actually, the crime rate for illegals is far above that of native-born Americans. And even if it wasn't, it would not be there. No, but it's just interesting. The punishment for the crime of breaking into a nation should be what it is in Switzerland and Israel and Hungary. Every person who breaks into a nation uninvited goes back to their country of origin, period.
So why is there an emphasis on the southern border?
Because
here's Shoshana race bait again, asking about the southern border. Because that's where the people primarily come through. Duh. Also, you notice how she kind of laughed almost when Charlie brought up that people are getting killed by illegal immigrants? They just don't care. At the end of the day, she has an open borders agenda. She's completely exposed herself for what she is, which is to say she doesn't even believe in the United States as a concept at all. She doesn't believe in a nation. I mean, clearly not, because if you believe you should have no border, you don't believe in a country. Because if you don't have borders to delineate a country, what do you have? Seriously.
Most people come illegally through the southern border. 10 million people have come across the southern border. And by the way, do you have any concern for the 320,000 missing kids that have also been sex trafficked across the southern border?
Of course I do.
But who's doing the sex trafficking?
A handful of people, not everybody else.
320,000, that's a lot.
The children.
Yeah, but each one of them has a handler.
I'm just...
So, and that means that 320,000 sex pimps are bringing in sex slaves to this country.
The point I'm trying to make is that we categorize all illegal immigrants under the same thing. Sex traffickers, drug dealers.
Am I
and
doing
by
that?
you saying all illegal immigrants have to be deported, you're implying that all of them are doing these terrible things. And not a small percentage of them.
Well, it's not small, actually. 320,000 out of 10 million is not small, actually. That's a serious number. That's 3.2% of all people that came into the country are connected to slavery in some way. That's insane, actually. 3.2% are connected to slavery. That's like a lot. But anyway, so let's just kind of, I want to just make clear. If you come into a country uninvited, definitionally you are a criminal.
We're just not going to agree.
It's fine. Then
That's
final
okay.
question. What is it?
So people who break into America unauthorized are not criminals. And also, if over 3% of them are practicing sex slavery, well, it's okay because it's a small number. Like Charlie said, it's obviously not a small number. Duh. But let's just say it was a small number. Does it matter? Seriously, I can give an example. We have people who kill others in this country. We have people who commit very disgusting sexual assaults in this nation. They are, generally speaking, a small number of men in the public. Most men are not doing these types of things. Does that mean we just say, well, to hell with it? Who cares? Don't prosecute it. It's a small number anyways. Why do you care about it? You're stupid. No, that'd be insane. You'd look like a monster if you said that, and rightfully so. So why don't we hold the same standard with people who are making a mockery of us caring about illegal immigration? Any crime that is committed by an illegal immigrant in the United States, beyond the initial crime of them coming in, because that's already a crime, that's a crime that wouldn't have happened in the first place if they were never here. There's no debating that. So every time an American citizen or a person legally residing in America gets killed by an illegal immigrant, well, they'd be alive today if that illegal immigrant was never allowed to come in the first place. I don't care if it was a small number. I don't care if it was a big number. It's wrong, it's evil, and it must be stopped. Period.
Is a criminal.
What is a criminal?
No. What is it? Would you agree with the definition that a criminal is someone who breaks the law?
Here's where I'm thinking. Here's the thing. I know how he's going to turn it, and I don't fully agree.
It's not a matter of turning it. It's a very ABC sequence. If they're not criminals, then tell me what a criminal is. And a criminal is obviously someone who breaks the law. Someone who comes across the southern border broke federal law, therefore they are a criminal.
Okay, then we can just disagree.
But you have to tell me what a criminal is, though.
Trump!
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
Yo.
Let's disagree on the sky being blue while we're at it, too.
You got to come up to the mic. Okay.
She's right behind me.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Can't tell me what a criminal is. Yeah. It's so sad. It's because if you want to really get down to it, at the core, and she's a very sweet person who was there, the left cannot define core terms. Criminal, woman, racist, democracy.
And that's exactly it. They refuse to live in reality, and they get angry at you for pointing out that they're living in Fantasyland. Oh well, what can we do? With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you liked about the clip, what kind of content you'll see next, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks, and God bless.